All right. Give it just a few more minutes. Hey, all. I'm going to wait just a few seconds for a little more people to get in here. All right. All right. I don't normally do this, but I'm in Tulsa right now. Unfortunately, my wife is in the hospital, so I had to take some time. I just left to go grab some food, and I'm on my way back, and I'm on Peoria and around 36th in Tulsa. And there's a guy on roller skates with a big sign that says impeach Trump and Pence. And I don't know, he's got like some sort of I don't know, like string on his stick that he's doing that, like a swivel stick or something. I don't know what it's called, but he's riding back and forth with his sign, and it's cold outside. I mean, it's not as cold as it is up north, but it's still pretty cold for here. It's in the 20s. So I'm not going to stay out long, but I'm going to go talk to him because I don't know if you can see this, but I'm wearing a Trump 45 shirt, and I'm going to go see what he says. Now, I think he saw me setting up to, oh, hell, I can't see the chat. There it is. I think he saw me setting up my camera, but we're going to go talk to him, and I'm going to go freeze my ass off for a minute. So, let's go. All right. Come on. All right, I'm going to flip it around so you guys can see him. Right there. Thanks, Colleen. What's up, man? How are you? Oh, I'm living the dream. So how come you don't like Trump?
So many reasons.
Like why?
He's incompetent and a liar. I think he's been proven. He's had over like 8,000 false statements that he's made since taking office.
Really?
Yeah.
What? Like what?
Like he's been talking about global warming lately. And saying, like, trying to make a joke out of it when it's threatening the security of our country and our world.
How's it
needs to be addressed?
How is it threatening our world? I think back, I don't know, what was it, like 30 years ago, Al Gore said that we'd be underwater by 2012. So, I mean, do you really think it's as bad as people are making it out to be?
Yeah, and I think you've probably read or watched some sort of propaganda paid for by oil companies to get you to doubt the reality of climate science, even though 97% of climate scientists agree that it's happening and it's a great threat to our world, and our military even acknowledges it's a threat.
Well, I never said it wasn't a threat. I just personally believe it's not as bad as it is made out to be. Like,
why?
Because
are you a climate scientist?
We're not. Are you?
No, but I've read their work. Have you?
Well, they're not all scientists agree with them.
97% of climate scientists agree.
Well, what I'm getting at is we're not big enough as a human population.
That's not true.
It is true. We can't.
Where is this from? What's this fact from?
We don't control the climate, man. It's for as long as the Earth's been around. It's gotten hot. It's gotten cold. It's gotten hot. It's gotten cold.
As long as the Earth has been around, another living being on the Earth or other means of burning fossil fuels. Look behind you. There's a bunch of cars. Those didn't exist until the late 1800s. And
right.
We've been spewing carbon.
But volcanoes put out more. Volcanoes put out more carbon than everybody.
I'm not going to keep debating climate science.
Okay, well, what do you want to debate then?
I don't feel the need to debate anything.
Well, you're out here with a sign. I mean, you're obviously looking for...
I'm inspiring the 65 million people who voted for Hillary Clinton to join me in peaceful demonstrations until Trump and Pence step down, and to join me calling for a Green New Deal so that we can radically address the climate crisis while creating millions of jobs and ensuring our energy independence. Does that really sound like something you don't support?
Oh, I don't support trying to impeach Trump. He hasn't done anything.
I mean,
he's actually, our country is better off now than it was in the last 2 administrations.
We just had a shutdown that impacted millions of American families.
And that was the Democrats not wanting to come to the table. Who stayed in Washington?
Houses voted to approve that bill, and Trump said no.
No, they did not.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't. The bill that was approved, the Senate wouldn't even bring to a vote. Now,
what's your
Trump?
name?
My name's Rick. What's yours?
I'm Adam.
Nice to meet you. Trump.
You're not going to convince me. I'm not going to convince you. You're trying
well,
to.
I understand, but debate is healthy. Trump stayed. Well, then, why did Trump stay in Washington when the Democrats left over Christmas?
Because he was shamed into it.
No, he wasn't.
He had never visited the troops until then.
You're gonna be. His wife went with him,
20 years from now, if you're still alive, you're gonna be so ashamed of yourself that you supported Trump.
No, I don't think so. I'd much rather have Trump.
Would you have supported Hitler?
Trump is not Hitler, and to make that insinuation is asinine.
We're still separating families at the border. We have more people than any other country in the world.
Yes, we do. Yeah, and that's because of the war on drugs.
And that was a failure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't agree with the war on drugs. I think that needs to stop. I think whatever you put in your body is your business.
Why do you want us to incarcerate thousands and thousands of immigrants who are just trying to have a better life? And separate their families, separate infants from their parents. Do you really support that policy? And
no, I think they should all be sent back together.
Comparison to Hitler.
They should all be.
We're only 2 years into Trump's presidency, and Hitler was in power for almost a decade, or more than a decade. Sorry, and if we could let it keep going, would you defend Trump if he started killing immigrants in the detention centers?
No, but he's not going to do that. He is nowhere near Hitler.
Multiple people, including children, have died in those detention centers.
That's because they were sick when their parents brought them on a 1,000-mile journey.
Okay.
There's their parent. I mean, where's personal responsibility? They don't need to. We have a border.
Has your country ever been invaded by the United States and had their government destabilized in the name of international corporations?
It's not for corporations, man.
Okay.
We have sovereignty for a reason. We have to have a border. We can't just let anybody come in.
I mean, but it works pretty well for the different states. People move from different states in the U.S.
That's because we're one union. We're one country.
But we're all one human race.
Okay. Well, do you know that Mexico, you can't illegally go there. They'll throw you in jail. Can't do it in Canada. They'll throw you in jail. And no country that's a country with borders will allow you to come in.
That doesn't mean that that's right either. I feel like the flow of capital and goods over borders is totally unregulated, but the flow of human traffic is totally restricted under the current economic system. So I think that needs to change. If we're going to be having goods come from all over the world, people can also come from all over the world. Immigrants add to the GDP of our country.
So you're for a one world government then?
I mean, I don't think I'm for a one world government, but I'm for free travel in between countries.
Well, travel is one thing, and violating someone's sovereignty and laws is another. And until it changes, laws need to be respected.
What are you putting this on?
Oh, I have a YouTube channel.
How many people? What's your viewership?
I've got 7,000 or 8,000 viewers.
Views or subscribers?
Subscribers.
What is it? What's it called?
It's called Picture Perfect.
Picture Perfect?
Yes, sir.
How long have you done that, Rick?
I don't know, about a year and a half or so.
That's cool.
What
are some of your major news sources?
I look more at the Daily Mail, Breitbart. I don't really listen to Fox News all that much, but have you thought about doing this I don't know, in a non-liberal area of the city?
I mean, this is just convenient for me. I am helping encourage people in the country to join me.
Well, sure.
In peaceful demonstrations. It's our First Amendment right.
Yes, it is, and I am all for First Amendment. And that is why.
What do you think
that is
of
why I have
people
my channel.
who have threatened me? Because I have received threats from people in cars.
I think
one person seemed to think their Second Amendment said that they could shoot me because I'm doing this.
I think they're assholes, and they don't deserve to. They don't need to be doing what they're doing. You have a right to do it, and I completely respect it. I don't agree with it, but I respect it. Now,
what would you do if I were killed?
What do you mean?
Like, if that, like, because Trump, that's another thing I don't like about Trump, is he's, like, increased the amount of hate crimes in the country.
Now, I think
just a vicious hate crime against the actor from Empire this week.
I saw that, but
somebody in the city actually died in 2016. They were killed by a neighbor who was racist. His name was College of
I saw that, and he went to jail. But I don't think that it's fair to blame Trump for that stuff.
The people who attacked Jesse screamed, "This is MAGA country," when they attacked him. That's like directly quoting the President of the United States.
Well, do you know that most of these hate crimes that have come out have been proven false? That they're just trying to make him look bad. They're just
in fact, police departments actually aren't required to report hate crimes. It is a self-reporting process in almost all of the country.
Well, isn't
so hate crime statistics are probably underreported?
Isn't
any
hate crime
statistic is probably?
Isn't any crime against somebody a hate crime?
I mean,
it's a legitimate question.
But do you understand like the reason for a legal definition of a hate crime?
No, not really. I think all crime is a hate crime. I mean,
I'll tell you, like, obviously, I have a rainbow flag. I'm like, reading is probably queer, and I'll tell you, a lot of the harassment I get from people is about that, and they call me faggot, or they call me other names and try to harass me for that, which is why hate crimes exist, because there are communities that have historically been targeted by people for either violence or death. Again, just this week there was a hate crime against a man by two people who shouted, "This is MAGA country," and called him racist and homophobic slurs. They didn't do that just because they did that specifically targeting him.
Well, you don't think we were divided before Trump?
I love you, Rick. I just met you, and I'm very happy to meet you. I don't disagree.
No, nobody's gonna. Nobody.
Have you gotten any death threats since Trump took power?
Absolutely not.
I've gotten, on multiple occasions, I've gotten death threats for various forms of, standing up to the way that he's attacked people. There were no terrorist attacks in 2018 from anybody besides far-right terrorist attacks, and I think they killed Americans.
Where did you hear that?
On the news. There was the attack on the Tree of Life Synagogue that was the worst massacre of Jewish people in American history.
What makes you think that was far right?
Because the guy's Facebook was I don't know if it was Facebook, but his social media was all supportive of that stuff. And literally a 97-year-old woman was killed. Does that not stir your soul, Rick?
I remember it happening, but as far as I recall, it wasn't.
Now, hundreds of years later, or not even hundreds of years later, to have people disrespecting their culture is understandably offensive. And people claim they were trying to ruin those kids' lives, but they were just trying to call them out on.
Well, the kids didn't do anything. They just stood there staring at him. The guy walked up to him and started drumming in front of their face. Did you watch the whole video or just what the news put up?
No, I watched the whole video.
Okay, well then, I don't know how you saw what I saw differently. Oh, man. Well...
What can I ask, what was your intention, coming over to talk to me?
This right here, just to talk to you. I legitimately want to know why.
Live streaming it?
I am. It? Yeah, no, I'm live streaming. What
are people saying? Is anybody watching?
Yeah, sure.
Read me some of the comments.
All right. We got City One says, I hope he's getting some money from Soros for standing out there.
Nope, not true. I'm not paid. I'm doing this. I've done it for This is my 4th week that I'm starting, and I do not get paid to do this.
Norman Baker says you have a nice smile.
Me? Thank you, Norman. Norman. Are you screening any of them? Like, one of the reasons I'm asking is because I feel like some of them are probably saying some mean things, and I don't care if you say them. I would just
no. I'm not screening anything. Like, I'm just trying to. Like, one guy asked, "Is speeding a hate crime?"
Is that a reference? What is that a reference to?
It's a reference to me, probably me when I call crime a hate crime. But speeding isn't a crime; it's an infraction. One person says to send you a couple of months to Africa, the Middle East, or Central Asia, and then hear your thoughts about borders and diversity.
I have lived around the world. I've been in South America, I've been in Europe, but I don't feel like addressing that comment right now.
Sure. Pissed off Marine says Trump gave the military a raise.
Isn't that not true though? I
know
he lied about giving them a 10% raise, but
no, not at all. He gave them a raise. Anyway, that's to the extent of the comments that I can see right now. Yeah.
Can you explicitly tell your followers?
You're telling them right now, man.
Not to be harassing.
What do you mean?
Just like I said, I'm worried about targeted harassment.
Nobody knows who you are, brother. Nobody knows who you are, and nobody's gonna target you. That's not what we're about. I will ask you one last thing. We have record low unemployment and a record high stock market. Do you honestly think that our economy isn't doing well because of Trump and the deals that he's made?
I didn't even bring up the economy, and I don't think that's a valid way of addressing the health of the country.
Really? The economy is the lifeblood of the country, man. I mean, a bad economy, you don't...
We have ever worsening wealth inequality, and just because there's more and more money doesn't mean it's spread evenly, and so many people are living one paycheck away from homelessness, bankruptcy, lots of things. People who were furloughed, there were people who were evicted because they couldn't pay their rent.
They missed one paycheck. If they were being evicted for one paycheck, then they were there before that, man. That's not a fair assessment. You don't get thrown out of your house for missing one payment.
I believe it's a human right, and our society should try to provide for the needs of all people. We're the richest country in the world. We don't need to have such terrible...
So you're for communism then, right?
No, I'm not a communist.
Socialist?
I support a lot of socialist beliefs. I think that there should be more decentralization of power, and I think that communities should have more impact and choice over what happens in their either state or even smaller.
Sure.
That's one of the things I hope the Green New Deal achieves energy independence for cities or towns, so that they can have energy cooperatives with either solar or wind farms where they're in charge of their own energy and have energy independence and don't rely on either the utility companies or multinational companies to keep warm in the winter,
right,
and have basic necessities met.
Well, I can't disagree that I think everybody deserves a warm place to lay at night. But, as far as income inequality, I think that's a misnomer, man. Do you really think that somebody who works his butt off to get where he's at, do you think it's really fair to take what he's earned and somebody who doesn't want to do the work?
I do. Well,
really?
So, do you support the slogan, "Make America Great Again"?
Sure.
So, I brought up earlier, with the murder of indigenous people, millions of them, and the enslavement of Africans, I think it's really disingenuous to claim that America was great when it was founded. And I think we've come a long way since then, and we've done a lot of really cool things. And one of the best times for us was like with the New Deal, when the tax rate was as high as 90% and the growth rate was really high as well. And so historically in this country, we've had really high tax rates and it was fine. Like, do you really think that someone needs to have $50 billion?
Yeah, if they earn it, it's their money. It's not anybody else's.
No one earns $1 billion.
But who are you to decide what somebody does with their own money? I think that's wrong.
I don't think it's their own money. I think they're profiting off of the labor of people like you and me. And like,
without them, people wouldn't have jobs.
That's not true.
It is true. Do you know we didn't have an income tax until World War II? And it wasn't supposed to stay. It was supposed to go. And they just, because they got their hands on it, they kept it. And we did just fine before income taxes. And if we jacked our tax rate up to 90%, do you know how many of these people would leave? Do you know how many jobs would be lost?
Already left, and how the multinational companies are fucking over countries all over the world.
And they're coming back because Trump's lowering the tax rate.
I don't think that's true though. Like, Harley Davidson didn't make any profit its fourth quarter last year, and they've been like severely impacted by his tariffs.
And they're trying. Yeah, that's because they're trying to move out of country. If they don't do that, then they don't have anything to worry about. He's trying to keep everything here. Well, it's cold. I'm freezing my ass off. I appreciate your conversation.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Rick.
Nice to meet you. Take care of yourself, brother.
Thank you.
Check it out on YouTube.
What's the channel called?
Picture Perfect.
Picture Perfect.
Yeah. Take care. See you later. Sure.
Can you take one and send it to me? Because my phone is full. Are you gonna go talk about me?
No, man. I'm not one to talk about somebody behind their back.
You never talk about people on your channel when they're not there?
No, generally not.
Okay. I'll vet it. I'll watch it later. But really, I don't think Trump is... It's going to be blurry, sorry. I don't think Trump is looking out for the best of anybody except himself. Like, I hope you can come to see that. I don't see you as anything other than a friend. And I don't know, I wish you the best in life.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll see you sometime down the road. Okay. Take care of yourself. All right, y'all. Well, we had a little conversation. We don't agree, but it is what it is. And I am freezing my ass off. Can't feel my fingers. I am sorry about the feed crashing a few times. I was busy talking to him and didn't realize. Whew, thank God for heated leather seats. Good Lord, it's cold. All right. Well, I can't say that I agree with him. I don't. I think he's wrong in every way. But, hey, he's an American. He's free to have his point of view. Let's just hope that he puts America first in the future. And, you know, he wasn't like your typical liberal. He wasn't abusive. He wasn't aggressive. But he certainly didn't seem open to a differing point of view, which we see that a lot. Now, I can agree with some of the stuff he said, as far as people, you know, everybody deserves a warm place to lay, but at the, where do you start, though? I mean, you can't just steal people's money. To think that somebody doesn't need, you know, say $1 billion, you know, they might not, but if they earned it, it's theirs. It's not our place to take it. If you want to live like that, then I mean, I'm sure you'd be fine living under a regime like North Korea or Iran. monkey. Yeah, it's fair for me to steal your hearts. Holy shit. Ah, it's so cold. My hands are burning now. God damn. All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate you coming in on this and watching this live stream. I know it was a little different than what I normally do. But anyway, I got to get back to the hospital. The wife is waiting on me. Hopefully she'll be released tomorrow. Hope so, because I got to go back to work. All right. Well, y'all take care, and I will see you on the next one.